Alright guys, so today we're going to be checking out the Poco Buds Pro Genshin Impact Edition. Now this is a pair of true wireless earbuds that's the first ones from the company Poco. They are a Xiaomi sub-company. They're basically trying to give you a lot of the higher end features and sound quality from the more expensive earbuds, while only having these come in at around 75 bucks. So we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about all of those features and the sound quality and see if these are worth the $75 price tag. So first off, with this being the Genshin Impact Edition, if you're not familiar with what that is, Genshin Impact is basically like an anime style RPG. It's a game that is open world, the anime style that they have, the details in the characters and stuff. It's actually a very beautiful game. So the fact that the company is theming these new earbuds based off that already kind of had me interested, just because I am a huge fan of art in general. And you can tell from the second that you check out the packaging on these, they come in what looks like a book. The details, all of it is just this raised print. The color scheme I like a lot, and so again, this just really caught my attention. But when you open it up, you see that inside it comes with this little backpack, and that's actually the carrying case for the charging case that comes with your earbuds. And again, this is themed from the game itself. In fact, all of this is more so themed around the character Klee. The backpack is the backpack that she actually uses. The symbols on here actually all resemble the symbols that's on her clothing. And they even took it a step further, and the voice notification on the earbuds is actually Klee's voice from the game.
For example, when you have your Bluetooth connected for the very first time, Klee will say,
"Ta-da! Klee is here!"
And then every other time you connect Klee,
"Ta-ta-da!"
And then when you're almost out of battery,
"I feel kind of woozy."
And lastly, when you do choose to disconnect,
"What did you do that for?"
So if you're a fan of the game or this character more specifically, this is a really nice touch and just something that's kind of cool to have. But to move on to what all the earbuds actually have, they are using Bluetooth 5.2. Now they only have AAC playback, so they don't have any of those higher end Bluetooth codecs. But this pair has active noise canceling. It does have Qi wireless charging. It also has dual device connectivity. So you can connect to 2 devices at a time. You can't listen to 2 devices at a time, but if you're watching a movie on a tablet or your laptop and somebody calls in, it just makes it very easy to automatically switch over. So this is also a feature I know a lot of people are interested in. And another thing is this pair also uses 9mm composite dynamic drivers. And we'll talk about those drivers once we get into the sound. Now, if you are somebody like me that is using a Xiaomi branded phone like the Poco line, there are specific phones that when you open up the case, it actually gives you this pop-up window, and it makes it very easy to connect to the earbuds. And again, it's just kind of a nice touch because it's kind of tying into the theme of that Genshin Impact game. So before we actually get into all of the features that these earbuds have, one thing that I noticed when I went to their site is it actually says that these have a lot of features that you can do within an app, but it never said what the app was. I could never find or locate the app to be able to use some of these features. So I'm going to tell you what it's supposed to do, and if I do get any information, I will update that at the top of the description. So what you're supposed to be able to do with the app is obviously keep your earbuds updated. It also gives you the locate my earbuds feature. And with the active noise canceling on these, it's supposed to give you 3 different levels of noise canceling. You're supposed to have a light noise canceling mode, a balanced mode, and then a deep noise canceling mode. So out of the box, I'm only getting 1 level of noise canceling. But also with the transparency mode, you're supposed to have a voice enhancement transparency mode as well that you're able to switch into. So if you just have it on normal transparency mode, you're supposed to be able to hear your surroundings, which this pair does a very good job with. But the voice enhancement feature is supposed to make it where you can carry on a conversation even better than using the normal transparency mode. But I didn't have the app, so I wasn't able to test that feature. So I'm only going to be able to talk about the normal noise canceling and the normal transparency mode. But both of these modes are actually pulled off very well on these earbuds. I felt like the noise canceling did an extremely good job against things like engine noises and air conditioner units, basically anything with that lower tone, that lower rumble. But again, this kind of falls into that category if you're around where there's a lot of people talking or a TV going on. Those higher frequencies still come through basically just as if you're using a normal pair of earbuds. But again, the noise canceling is very impressive on here, and the transparency mode is also done very well, where you basically have no issue being able to be aware of your surroundings. Now, as far as using these outdoors, basically just like a lot of other noise canceling earbuds, these do have an IPX4 rating. So it means that if you're outdoors and it starts to rain, or if they get splashed on, or if you sweat heavily, you don't have to worry about those things, but you definitely do not want to submerge these into water. Now, as far as what all they've included inside the box, it does come with a gold keychain, basically, that you can put onto the backpack, and you can just loop it onto your normal keys, and that way you can keep your earbuds with you at all times. And then it also comes with 4 sets of silicone ear tips, and it comes with a USB-C cable. But like I said at the beginning of the video, these are Qi Wireless compatible, so you could just come in, drop it on any Qi Wireless charger, and they will start charging. Now, speaking of the charging, battery life is pretty decent on this pair. If you're just gonna use these with the noise canceling off, you can actually get about 6 hours on the earbuds, with around 28 hours using the case. But if you do decide to use these with the noise canceling on, it does seem to drop the battery life to about 5 hours, and then about 25 hours using the case. So there is a little bit of a drop off, but the 5 to 6 hours I think are gonna be fine for most people. But if you do happen to pick your earbuds up and they are dead, these have a very impressive fast charge feature where a 10-minute charge will get you 3 hours of use. So that is just kind of peace of mind that you don't have to make sure your earbuds are always charged, because getting 3 hours on a quick 10-minute charge means you can pretty much have enough battery life anytime you need. But moving over to looking at the case and the earbuds themselves, I'm not gonna lie. The first time I picked up the case, this looks exactly like the Google Pixel Buds case. Now, although this is a red color, it does have the gold logo on the back side, but on the front you have your pairing button and your single indicator light. That way you can kind of gauge how much battery life is on the case. And then on the bottom is where your USB-C input is located. And again, it is trimmed in gold to tie into that color theme. But when you open up the lid, you can see that inside the lid and around the earbuds, it also kind of has that gold look around it. And the earbuds immediately jumped out to me that they resembled the One More Color buds. They just kind of have that similar design, although these obviously look different because it has the logo and basically like a glass type finish on the outside. And this is where your touch controls are located. And this is another one of those pairs that doesn't give you volume control. You actually have to pull out your phone or summon your smart assistant to be able to control the volume. So on the earbuds, you get your play, your pause, your ability to skip your tracks forward. You can go backwards. You can also turn it from that noise canceling to transparency mode. But there's no volume control, and that's always gonna be a bummer on a pair of earbuds, not being able to do that. And the bad thing about this is this pair could have had volume control, because this is one of those that has the smart sensors where it will just pause when you take them out of your ears and it will resume once you put them back in. So you could have taken the play pause feature off of the earbuds and then just added volume control, and then that would have been a quick fix. And now for you guys that do like to use your earbuds for taking phone calls, no surprise here that they actually do a really good job. And the reason I say that is it's the same company that makes phones, so you would think they would know how to make some pretty decent mics. But you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here.
So here is the mic test using the Poco Buds Pro. And again, I think the mic quality on these are very, very good. It sounds a lot more natural than other earbuds. And it does have a slight digital noise, but this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call. And so now here is a mic test with the crowd noise being played, which you can hear here. And so this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call in public.
So now let's talk about the sound. And the sound on these is, in my opinion, essentially just like the Pixel Buds A series, but you're getting noise canceling. And the noise canceling does not affect the audio in a way where it starts to make it congested or sound closed in. So they did a very good job with keeping this nice, clean, bright sound signature. The bass does have a slight subtle punch to it, so the bass is not overpowering. It's not a bass that's just gonna hang around and just sound a little too bloated. So if you are a bass head or somebody that likes that subwoofer type sound, this isn't going to have that type of sound signature. This one is more focused on the vocals. It's more focused on dialogue and hearing subtle things. It's great for using this for gaming. And again, with this being a gaming branded earbud, maybe that was the focus on here, I'm not really sure. But it is a clean sounding earbud. The details in acoustic instruments and guitars and the speed that these are able to keep up with metal, it just worked great across all genres. Again, I think where people may not be necessarily impressed is if you're just a bass head. And if you just listen to mainly like hip hop and pop, and you just like that club style sound, this isn't the pair for that. This is a very open, very detailed sounding earbud. And it's kind of refreshing to listen to because most earbuds are generally kind of pushed in the direction of bass. So my overall opinion is this: if you're a fan of Genshin Impact, and more specifically the character that these are based off of, obviously you're going to be interested in these. But I think even if you're not, the color scheme definitely has a unique look. I really like the design that these have. But the things that I do want to point out is it does lack that high-end Bluetooth codec support, and at the moment, these don't have actual app support, or if it does, I haven't been able to find it. But outside of that, the features that you do have access to, like the active noise canceling and the transparency mode, is very, very good on here. You obviously have Qi wireless charging, which is always convenient. And the sound signature that these have, if you're already a fan of the Google Pixel Buds A series and you want active noise canceling, that is essentially what you are getting with this pair. So yeah, this one's easy to recommend, coming in at around 75 bucks. Guys, that wraps up my video on the Poco Buds Pro Genshin Impact Edition. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.